Hey everyone, this is our sprint release video sync for the marketing group for digital experience for August 8th, or September 8th, not August, whatever date this is. I'm going to hand it off to Tina and we can kind of popcorn around from there.
Thanks. Yeah, I had some time off this iteration, so it was a bit short for me. I mostly spent it doing some UX Q&A on the features and solutions landing pages that I imagine Marg and Matteo will probably talk about after me. I also wrapped up the KubeCon event page, which I showed last week, so I won't show it again. But that also helped me finish the AWS page. So I just used that same template to create an alternate version of this page, and hopefully we can use it moving forward. You'll see that a lot of the components are the same. I think Javi's going to be working on that. So just a heads up that another one's coming, but it's almost exactly the same. And aside from that, I've been chasing assets for all of the above projects and making some issues for small improvements to the solutions section. And that's it for me. Next is Matteo.
Okay, let me share my screen. There you go. So the biggest thing I was working on this iteration was the solutions landing page. It is almost complete. I am figuring out a piece of feedback on the mobile side, and then I will add the new content for it. And other than that, I resolved a bunch of smaller issues, ungating the previous DevSecOps surveys, some contrast issues with the new survey, the animation issue on the education page, and layout issue, a bunch of smaller issues, but the biggest one was the solutions page. I should be finishing that one soon. And that's it for me. Not sure who the next one is. I'm going to go with Javi.
Thank you. This iteration I worked on updating, or more so just finishing the process of updating the Gtag that's been merged. I have 2 points for updating the solutions pages. I tagged Matteo for the review for that. And then Tina, we should have review on your end probably later this week because we got derailed by something that Tina had already shared, which is the KubeCon. I have the MR, or not the MR, but the review app for that here. Tina already showed the wires, but I don't think I've shown this to, am I sharing the right screen? Are you seeing the right thing? Okay. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm trying to get this to be at a decent spot by the end of the day, and then have both Tina and then folks from the events team make sure that this is where it needs to be, also helping to, get urgency for some of the Lauren Ipson we have on the page. So that'd be nice. That's it for me. Up next, I'll give it to Margaret.
Yep, so during this iteration, I'll mostly work on the features landing page. Actually, I can share that. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. It looks like I capture. But yeah, I mostly work in the features landing page. We've been working on some new features. I'm not sure why I cannot share. I just don't see my screens. But yeah, I can figure that out later. But yeah, I also worked on the release post updates. We're trying to just bring that back to the brand refresh, just step by step. So I'm going to continue working on that, I think, in the next iteration. And I think that's it for me. I can share a link to the features page if you guys want to check that out.
Sweet. I think oh, here we go. Oh, Justin's got it. Nice.
Yeah, share real quick.
So the biggest update here is the cards. We now are showing the free premium and ultimate pills, and then those link to, if you hover over one of them, they link to pricing pages in the free trial page. We didn't have that before. We also added thumbnails. I think that was pretty challenging to source those, so that's pretty exciting. Mark, what else was there? I think that's it for the bigger changes.
You can also click on the images and just see a bigger version of that. We also added support for videos, but most of the features don't have videos yet. So we currently have the support. I think the other thing is just we added a kind of a CTA or more access in the top with the categories. You can click on those and just scroll down all the way to the category you're interested in. So if you go back to the top and just select from the list, you should be just scrolling back down.
Yeah, we also improved, if you scroll down a bit past this, thank you, stop, nope, to the intro section. For each stage, a little bit higher. So those bullet points previously were just bullet points. So now they link down to each subsection. And then we added the back to top so that users can get back to top. And we also improved the filter by plan UX. It's much simpler now. So we're leading with ultimate. And I think that's it.
I saw the loading spinner too. I like that. We're gonna have to add that to a bunch of our slower pages.
That's all Margaret. And now I have to like put it in slippers somehow. I have to like backwards design it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think we're adding it into the Y premium and Y ultimate pages as well.
Maybe one day we'll do the skeletons, or I think it's called skeletons, where you show the outline of the container and then it loads in the content after, so it doesn't shift. Anyway, future state. I think I'm last actually, so let me share my screen. I'm going to share my whole screen. Yeah, so I guess to jump in, there's a lot of follow-up work with Learn. So when we moved the Learn page over, the Learn team, Learn and development team, wanted to update a bunch of links and a bunch of 404s and all sorts of stuff on the page. So we didn't demo this last iteration, but Tina kind of whipped up something quick for the Learn page because we migrated it over. There were some issues with styling on www. So we didn't do anything too crazy, but just made it look a lot cleaner and more to our branding. You can filter and all that fun stuff. So this is the Learn page. It's now live. It's been live for I think a couple weeks. And then another thing I was doing is updating the documentation. So we have some people going to help us take on some slippers issues. And so we need to update the documentation. I did a 5-minute video last week, I think it was, just to kind of go over the basics of slippers and why we have it and what it's going to do. And so just updating the documentation so that we don't have to kind of handhold when everyone joins. They'll have hopefully everything available at their fingertips. And then the handbook pages I'm updating right now as we speak, so I can't show those. Another big thing that's been going on is trying to synchronize features YAML, for example, and data files that are in www into buyer experience. And so what we're going to do in the interim is we finally have a long-term solution. And so the handbook team is actually, they're going to create submodules. They're going to create a submodule repository for data files. And so in that repository is going to have all the handbook data files and all the buyer experience or all the marketing data files. And so eventually, when it's ready, we're going to import it or add it as a submodule. And so we'll have all that data. But in the interim, we need a way to synchronize the files. And so I just wrote a script. Right now, it's called just Yarn Sync Data. We're trying to figure out where to put it. Initially, I had it on Yarn Dev, which is not a good place for it. But this, either the build process or somewhere we think is a good idea to place it. And it essentially will curl down the files and then adds them to the synced folder. And then here you go. Here's the latest features and the latest categories. So that's still being tweaked right now. There's an MR open, there's a lot of comments on it. That's kind of the bulk of the work that I've been working on this last iteration.
Cool. Thanks everyone. It was an awesome sprint.